Welcome everyone to the Ask DVCC show. Getting quite a few questions around different topics, so I thought we'd start it back up and see if we can't provide some useful advice. So, question number one, how many rest days should I have? This is an interesting question because it's very, very individual, but the thing to think about is not so much how many rest days should I have, it's more to do with how well do I recover. A few things you want to think about. Number one, how do you feel? You could be doing one session a week and be fantastic, and it takes you quite a few days to recover before you are able to then do another session. Some athletes will train 2 to 3 times a day, 7 days a week, because all of their recovery is taken care of. So the way they eat, the amount of fluid they drink, their sleep quality, how much sleep they're able to get. For most people, and most people certainly we serve at the DVCC, 2 to 3 sessions a week is more than enough, because all of these things I'm about to list impact how well you recover. The amount of sleep you're able to get, the sleep quality that you're able to get. So just because you're falling asleep doesn't mean that your sleep quality is exceptional. You may have drunk some alcohol before you go to sleep, which always impacts the quality of your sleep. The amount of stress you're under, that will all play against your ability to recover. So whilst it is very beneficial for you, the actual act of working out, exercise, is a form of stress on your body. So if you're already taking in a lot of different stresses, emotional stress, physical stress, lack of sleep, a lot of alcohol, food choices, maybe lack of hydration, these are all stresses on your body that will impact your ability to recover. Once a week might be where your ability to recover is. Then as you become more adapted to exercise, that can increase. Certainly most people that we serve, 40 plus, 2 to 3 times in a week is more than enough. To be honest, anything more may be affected by your ability to recover. Think about your recovery, so the quality of your sleep, how much sleep you're getting, your food, your hydration levels. Think about all of those things as the things that impact how many times a week you're able to exercise. So, second question, it's a favorite, and actually interestingly, this was never actually really a topic of discussion because it just wasn't possible, but should I track my calories? This is quite a complicated or an individual answer because the tracking of calories has become a lot more popular since the introduction of MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, different apps that you're able to track your calories with. Now, the number one thing to note is that none of these tracking apps are 100% accurate. However, they give you a very, very good benchmark, but it really depends on your own personal relationship with food. Because I've seen it obviously with enough experience that someone that has disordered eating, they've done a lot of diets, they've done a lot of different things around nutrition that they wouldn't class as something that they feel is healthy for them, to then start tracking your calories on an app can lead to further disordered eating. It really starts, in my opinion, with what your personal relationship is with food. What you're looking really to do when you're tracking calories, most of the time when people are talking about fat loss, is to know, am I taking in less than I'm expending within the day? Or conversely, if I'm trying to put on weight, am I taking in more than I'm expending? There are many other ways of actually keeping tabs, I suppose. So one way would be just a simple food diary. Now that won't necessarily tell you how many calories you're having. Being mindful of what you're eating is perhaps what you're actually looking for with that solution. And another good thing to do with that is to track how well you feel or how you feel. And then you can look back at, oh, I actually ate that on that evening and then I found that I just woke up and I wasn't feeling very good that next day. So that is a way of being mindful of your food and what you're consuming. You can start to understand the nutritional impact of food based off portion size using your hands as an example. I think it's about 30 grams of protein is normally a palm size for most people. And you can do that with thumbs for fat and different things. So that is another way of essentially tracking that isn't quite as intense as using an app. So I would always coach people to not straight away go onto a tracking app because it can further increase those feelings of disordered eating. So really it's quite an individual answer for that. For most people, the writing of a food diary, or just literally noting down what they're eating, so not even thinking about it, but just noting down what am I eating, what am I drinking, when am I doing it, for a few days, starts the process of just being aware and mindful of what they're eating, because it's very easy to forget things, to over-exaggerate or under-exaggerate what we actually did eat or drink. The ability to understand that I woke up feeling really groggy, and actually that correlates with having 2 glasses of wine on a Sunday night or a Saturday night. And that starts a different slighter process, which is just the awareness, which will then allow you to lead you to start focusing on things that probably make you feel better or feel good, and takes a little bit of the guesswork out about, what do I feel good when doing what. Thank you once again for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out on Facebook, it's at the DVCC, or DM on Instagram, and that again is also at the DVCC.